Thank you so much for tuning in to WDBX 91.1. You are listening to Talk of the Town. This is Eva Fisher. And yeah, I have an amazing guest in here with me today. I cannot wait to introduce you to. But first, let me give you a couple announcements of some other things we got going on here. All right, I want to put on everyone's radar the next community, that's spelled Community, social hour is coming up July 12th. This is an iced tea social hour hosted by Mayor Harvey. And this is a chance for all sorts of nonprofits in our region to get together, have a little meet and greet with community members. Great, kind of one-stop shop to see what's out there. If you're interested in volunteering, getting involved with the community, come see what nonprofits are out there, what needs they have in terms of volunteers or donations, etc. And yeah, there'll be treats, little tea snacks and cookies and iced tea, of course. So this is July 12th, a couple Saturdays from now. We'll be starting at 11:30 at the Carbondale Civic Center and run until 2 p.m. It's kind of come and go as you please. There'll be a brief, kind of speech from the mayor at noon and a few get to know each other games. So we ask you please register by July 7th. That is a week from today. And yeah, you can go to explorecarbondale.com. You'll see the press release on our carousel about this, and it has the registration info. Or go to City of Carbondale Government on Facebook, and we've got a post out about this. All right, we are wrapping up the Freedom to Freedom Juneteenth celebration series. So a couple more things going on today over at Turley Park from 10 to 3. They're going to be painting the Santa House, the African American Museum of Southern Illinois. They're doing an Art for Healing Trauma project. So they invite the community to come out, help get the Santa House ready. It's almost July, but hey, Christmas in July, we gotta be thinking about these things already. Tomorrow, Tuesday, July 1st at 5 p.m., it's the Who's Who of SIU in Southern Illinois, past, present, and future. This is a little meet and greet as well, put on by the Black Resource Center. It's going to be at the Old Main Lounge on SIU campus. So yeah, wait to get to know, some heavy hitters, some movers and shakers of SIU in Southern Illinois. And then they are holding their Freedom to Freedom Splash Park Day over at the Splash Park Super Pad on July 3rd from noon to 6. And then this whole Freedom to Freedom celebration series will be capped off with the 4th of July fireworks display, which is, of course, on none other than July 4th. That is Friday evening. The fireworks display will begin at 9:15 p.m. over at the Banterra Center. Lots 18 and 56, they're saying, are the best viewing spots, but get there nice and early. They normally have to close off the parking lots by 9 p.m. at the latest. And if you get there early, there's going to be some great food trucks. We got Honeybee Snowballs, Great American Ice Cream Truck, and Tropical Snow. So bring the family out in the car, get those treats, get those snacks. And now I get to introduce you to my guest here today. I wanted to bring on Quianya Enge. So great to have you on. Let me get your little microphone twisted towards you. This one's not quite as sensitive, so we'll have you get right up on it.
Good morning.
Good morning. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me this morning.
Absolutely. So, Quianya, I'm going to let you tell our listeners a bit about what you do, but Quianya is here with the Beyond the Walls movement organization. And yeah, I wanted to bring you on at this time. We're in the midst of this Freedom to Freedom Juneteenth celebration series, and your story and your mission is all about freedom of what it means to
Absolutely.
Take that next step in life and find that freedom for yourself. And you've got just a lot of amazing community projects and other things going on. So I'll let you dive into this. If you want to tell us about your role in this organization, what this organization's mission is at large, and kind of how this came to be.
Absolutely. So my name is Quianya Enge, and I am the founding executive director of Beyond the Walls. And Beyond the Walls came about in 2019. So I am directly impacted by the justice system as I served almost 11 years in the Illinois Department of Corrections. Came home and continued my education journey in Southern Illinois in the master's program for workforce and education and development. In 2019, when I relocated to Carbondale, I found that there were no resources for women in the reentry community that looked like me. Didn't necessarily have any outlining substance abuse or mental health issues or needs, but just needed resources to get my feet rooted and planted in the community. And so that's how Beyond the Walls came about. We are a 501c3 nonprofit founded to support women returning home from incarceration, specifically in rural Illinois, as we have expanded to Rockford, Illinois, which is, I'll talk a little bit later about our roots in Rockford and how that came to be.
Cool.
But again, like, the organization was built from my lived experience, and that the belief that reentry goes beyond survival and into restoration. As we talk about freedom to freedom and the freedoms of individuals, but also giving those individuals that everyone deserves a second chance, and so the opportunity to be free in that second chance and live out our civic liberties. So that's really who we are and what we do. We offer housing, as we've just secured our first safe house down in Carbondale. And again, we'll talk about that project a little later, but also entrepreneurship pathways to give women real tools to be able to live their lives post-incarceration.
Yeah, fantastic. And I'm just so excited to see this grow. I feel like this is a nonprofit that just all of a sudden kind of popped up on my radar, and then just next thing I knew, it's like bam, bam, bam. Now you have this safe house. Now you have this healing garden. Now you have this community mural project. It just seems like all of a sudden, like, I'm sure you've been planting these seeds for such a long time.
Absolutely.
But it really feels like, it's all kind of blooming, coming to fruition for you.
And it's so wonderful that you mentioned in blooming, because simultaneously I am pursuing my doctorate in higher education.
Awesome.
And writing a journey, book called The Bloom Journey.
Cool.
And so it's like things are just blooming now. So we're in bloom season.
Yeah.
And again, like I said, this Beyond the Walls started during my incarceration. I was released in 2014, so 11 years prior to that, like, this organization started. I was like, what do I do when I leave? What do other people do when they leave this space that don't have the support system that I have? Right? And so again, it's a bloom journey now, and everything is blooming. Like I said, we've been in Carbondale since 2019, just making a path for women, like showing up to events. I'm not really hosting a lot of events, but definitely collaborating and co-sponsoring and supporting other grassroots organizations throughout Southern Illinois, as far as East St. Louis, all the way down to Cairo.
Amazing.
So we try to support everyone in activities and events and missions that align with ours, of course, because we want to make sure that we aren't creating more barriers for individuals returning home.
Yeah.
So we have been doing a lot of community work throughout the Southern Illinois region, policy and advocacy, with the Fully Free campaign the last few years. This past year, we're members of the Illinois Coalition to End Permanent Punishments, which is a statewide coalition ran and led by individuals that are formerly incarcerated, or as we would like to say, directly impacted by the justice system. But there are also individuals that are indirectly impacted by the system that are part of this coalition. So we've done that work, and we're members of A New Way of Life Safe House network. And A New Way of Life is based in California, but the Safe House network is Sisterhood Alliance for Equity and for Freedom and Equality. So those networks are important to us because they specifically focus on women, but also statewide policy and advocacy issues that are important to us. When we consider that there are over 1,200 statutes on the books now for the state of Illinois that are barriers for individuals that are directly impacted by the justice system.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, gosh, just so much work. Now, do you have a team that's with you through all of this?
So we have a group of volunteers. Beyond the Walls is fully volunteer based. There's an staff. There's about 6 of us that are current throughout the Southern Illinois region, specifically in Carbondale, and then we have some visitors that come down periodically from New Cahokia, St. Clair County, and they help move initiatives and collaborate with us. We also have some volunteers that come down from Chicago if we're moving a specific agenda.
Okay.
But currently in Carbondale, there's a group of 6 of us that are based here, and we're all volunteers.
That's incredible. Wow. Well, way to put in the work. That's amazing. Now, I'd love to hear more about the safe house. I just saw the exciting Facebook post. You closed on this. You are bringing this new opportunity to Carbondale.
Absolutely. So the Safe House Network, again, a new way of life. Dr. Susan Burton in California spearheaded this organization over 10 years ago, and with the goal of supporting women, as she is also directly impacted. And now the Safe House is in 24 states,
okay,
in 3 countries.
Cool.
So we have a safe house in Kenya, I know specifically, but we're in Carbondale and we're in Rockford for Beyond the Walls, and that stretches to Rockford with my co-director, Shamir Love. So she'll be running the Sister by Love House in Rockford, Illinois, and specifically the Safe House Network wanted to focus on rural areas, considering Illinois is heavily rural, and most people think about Illinois and ultimately think about Chicago,
right?
But don't think about all the agricultural or rural growing spaces around that surround Chicago. So we're focusing on Rockford and Carbondale right now.
Cool.
Last month we secured the house in Rockford, and this month we secured the house in Carbondale.
Amazing.
They're both 3-bedroom, 2 baths. So these will house 3 women in each house, and hopefully our communities will be supportive of helping these women reintegrate into the community to get that second chance that, of course, we all deserve to secure our freedom.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, how incredible. Yeah, I know I saw an ask out there for things that can be provided for these homes to make this as comfortable of an experience for these women.
Absolutely. So we are fully grant funded, and again, we're seeking funds from philanthropic spaces and maybe some governmental grants. We don't know what that looks like right now, but to secure this safe house and make it a home for these women, we have put out a request on social media. It'll go out via emails and connections that we have for housewarming gifts for the Rockford location as well as the Carbondale location. And if you follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Beyond the Walls, NFP, and as well as our website, you'll find the link there, and it's an Amazon wish list. You can definitely purchase things or donate things that aren't on the list, where it's just a housewarming list, right? All the things that you think that someone would need to move into their first home. These homes have appliances, but other than that, they're completely empty. And so this wish list is just some basic things, beds and mattresses and kitchenware and sheets and toilet paper, right?
Yeah.
Those sort of things, just to get the house started, to make sure that these women have a stable and sustainable space to come home to.
Yeah, absolutely. How fantastic. I'm excited to see how that can kind of continue to grow, and I'm sure that lots of interesting things might come about of different resources people could provide in terms of making that place a home, of coming in, maybe doing some writing projects,
Oh
some
my
group
goodness.
sing-alongs, some different, making that
I'm
space
so
really alive and
excited
welcome.
for these women to come to Southern Illinois to see what Southern Illinois has to offer them. When I say that, I mean we are always looking for volunteers. We have to clean the house. We have to assemble things as we get them. We are looking for companies that may be interested in second chance hiring, soft skills training. We're always looking for volunteers. We're looking for women mentors for these women coming home. There's so many things that Southern Illinois has to offer for these women, and I think that it's a great space. It's specifically for individuals that have served a substantial amount of time, right? So we kind of, Beyond the Walls kind of fills in the gap of services when women come home that have served over 10 years, don't have small children, may not have a strong family support beyond prison, those sort of things. And so those are the women that we really focus on, just because they're on the second half of life, and that looks a lot different from when they became incarcerated.
Yeah, absolutely.
So our population in Carbondale specifically will be women ages 40 and over.
Okay,
and
cool.
So we may have a woman returning home that is on a walking device or is in her late senior years. She's maybe served 30 years and I'm coming home and needs a really slow paced space. But definitely wants to be independent, right? And so we have to think about these things of individuals that are formerly incarcerated that are in their senior years.
Right.
So that's kind of the gap that we feel and may just want to be out, and that's how Healing Soil came about. May just want to be out in the farm gardening, but again, independent, holding her own weight. But again, she's in her senior years and wants to live out the rest of her life to the best of her ability, physically, mentally, and spiritually.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me more about the Healing Soil Farm.
So Healing Soil, so I am a 22-23 graduate of Food Works Farm Beginnings.
Great.
I was diagnosed with a hereditary autoimmune disease, and read in my research that you could reverse this diagnosis with changing your diet and adding all these herbs to your diet. And so what I did was I joined Food Works and learned how to grow food, specifically herbs. And so we have a huge herbal garden over on East Jackson, 422 East Jackson. So we're directly behind Crispy Crunchy on Main Street. You can't miss it. It's a huge fence right there. Not necessarily to say that it's a private place, but say that it's a closed off space. It's a sacred space, and we want people to respect that. It's open to the public, so there's openness to come in. There's like no locked fence or anything, but also the fence is there to draw people in and to draw people's attention. We have partnered with Project Human X, the great Marquez, and he is over there, even in the heat, y'all, that we've had, outlining this enormous community mural that is going to be a huge paint by number mural. And so in the next few weeks, we'll be asking individuals to come out as a family, as an organization, as a business. Come out with your business t-shirts on, with your logos, with your family colors. Grab a number and help contribute to this mural as a way of inviting people into the space and saying, hey, this is an agricultural educational site. It's an urban garden, spelled HERBAN.
Love that.
Right? And what it is it's a space that come in and learn to grow. My farm mentors are Kathy and Jerry from La Colina Linda Farm.
Okay, great.
And so they have been absolutely amazing in mentoring me and helping me grow in this space and supportive the entire way with every project that we've done thus far. And like I said, it is a space to grow, but also a space to heal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the important part about it, to come into the space and root yourself, reconnect yourself with the land, just center yourself. Most of the times the space is empty and you have the entire 0.35 acres to yourself.
Wonderful.
Other times there will be a couple of people buzzing around. We'll have more art projects. We excavated over 200 original clay bricks from the road.
Cool.
That will be built. We'll be doing some other stuff with, again, with Project Human X. As we invite the community into the space. Last summer, we did a sunflower seed roasting event, which was really great to invite the people in. We're growing pumpkins, so we have some random pumpkins, and we have a mini pumpkin patch, so
Nice.
we'll have free pumpkins for individuals to come and grab a pumpkin for their littles.
Awesome.
Or for their big ones, either way,
Yeah.
for yourself. But it is a community space, and we ask that you take what you need and leave the rest for community. But you're more than welcome to come and harvest. We have about 30 heads of cabbage growing right now.
Wow, great.
Tomatoes, peppers, herbs, you name it, we have it over there. And yeah, so it's a great space, and we just want people to come and enjoy it.
How fantastic. I love hearing about the cultivation of all of these organizations. You have FoodWorks in there. The Farm Beginnings program is such an amazing thing
Yes.
to have here in Southern Illinois. And then of course Project Human X,
Yes.
they're wonderful, and what a bright light here. So to see all of that come together for this purpose, and as you're talking about, I can imagine that, that older woman you were describing, how special that will be, stepping into that garden, seeing that love and that creativity and inspiration poured in there.
And the opportunity to contribute
Yeah,
love
absolutely.
and creativity to the community.
Yes.
Right? We
Get to be a part of it all.
like I said, we've connected with so many grassroots organizations, Carbondale United, the Little Resource Center, to be able to have the littles around those women, of course with their parents. We aren't saying that this is a space that's going to be open. We do believe in community safety, and we want minors to be with their parents and know that we have individuals that are formerly incarcerated that are directly impacted. Like, we're heavy on community safety. We are parents, we are grandparents. We still believe in those things, even though we have this criminal justice background encounter. So, but yes, to be able to contribute that, and to think once that they may have never been able to contribute that.
Yeah.
You have some women that have been locked up a very long time and don't have children, and now aren't in the position to have children, but able to give back to the youth in the community through these spaces, through Beyond the Walls, through our Safe House, through Healing Soil Farm, to connect with other grassroots organizations. These things are important even to individuals that are incarcerated or formerly incarcerated.
How fantastic. Quianya, we have about 5 minutes left, so just want to make sure that if there's a topic we haven't touched on yet, that we can get into that, and if not, we'll keep diving in further to some of these things we've been discussing.
I think we have touched on everything. Absolutely. I want people to know that Beyond the Walls supports Clean Slate. It did make it through the House this year, but we're going to go again next year. We have a great sponsor, House Representative Gian Gordon Booth, and Clean Slate is an initiative to make record sealing automated.
Okay.
Not automatic, but automated. Currently, it's a petition space where individuals that are formerly incarcerated have to travel far and wide to collect the information needed.
Okay.
So we want to push Clean Slate so that we give, again, individuals the opportunity for that second chance and freedom, the liberties that we were promised through the Constitution.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. We'll ready to
Yes.
get after it. I love it. What's something you've seen like specifically in this community, either that's come through with the work you've already been doing of Beyond the Walls, or work you've seen in one of these organizations? Maybe just some anecdote that stuck with you.
Oh my goodness. Oh my God, I can't even think about just like one thing. Like even just tonight, the struggle is not over with Carbondale United, and
Yes.
the documentary is happening tonight, right? And so
Yeah.
I'm featured in that.
Amazing.
Or the work that Chastity Mays is doing, introducing women of color to being doulas in this space, like how important that is for women's rights and recognition in hospitals and medical spaces. Oh my gosh, the NAACP with the CEDUR program, helping individuals get into solar energy jobs, and like those small organizations. And I'm sure that there are like a lot of organizations that are doing great works on a macro level, but on a really micro level of like being hands-on. Like I live on South Washington, and I can walk right up the street and see individuals in Times Square rallying for people's rights, and I know these people specifically from grassroots organizations that we've collaborated in, or I'm a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, and we collaborate with the Little Resource Center for the free sale for March and Dine, specifically for babies. And so like those sort of organizations, the Black Greek organizations that do work in Carbondale, like those things, super hands-on in moving the initiative on a such a small level where you may not see it on like the daily news or whatever, but people recognize those organizations walking through the community. Like that's the big thing for me. I want to be able to identify a person in a grocery store that does some sort of great work in the community that I know.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That is so cool that you can start to see that kind of, that wonderful web you're weaving there, seeing it all come together and see those key components.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so incredibly much for coming on today. I so appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I can't wait to come by and see that healing garden and that community mural in action. How lovely.
We're super excited. Again, if you want to know about any of the works we're doing, or you're interested in volunteering, we're on Facebook, Healing Soil Farm, as well as Beyond the Walls, the movement. Like, share, and follow our page. Even if you don't donate to the housewarming list, please share it with your social media followers. We would greatly appreciate it. Come out and paint on our mural.
Yeah.
Pick some collard greens.
Yeah.
Grab a cabbage head or two.
I love it. Yeah, and say hi. Get to know all these folks. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll chat with you next week.